All right. Today, today's video is how many years does it take to finish my PhD? My name is Jerry Swafford Jr. I have a PhD in mechanical engineering, and I see videos that come up like this. I watched videos like this during my PhD and wanted to kind of get confirmation. Am I taking too long? Is it too short? I can answer that question for you because now that I'm finished, I can tell you. The thing about it is, there's a reason why you're asking me this. You're asking this because your PhD has taken longer than you initially expected. You've probably been at it for a few years. It's graduation season and you still haven't graduated, whether that's fall, or summer, or spring. It's graduation season, you're still not done. Probably what's happened is you saw somebody graduate after you or before you who started after you. I saw that multiple times during my time, and that's pretty discouraging when you see somebody that started later than you, maybe somebody who wasn't even as good of a student as you, and they got done before you, and you're still there. And what happens is you begin to doubt that you're going to even finish. So let me answer the question for you. Here's how long it'll take you, as long as you believe it will. You're probably looking for 1 year, 6 months, 2 years. As long as you believe it will take, that's how long it'll take. I know from experience. Here's what I don't mean by that. It doesn't mean as long as you say it will. So here's the thing. During my PhD, I would actually change passwords to different log I have, and I would use something like Jerry Lee PhD 2020 exclamation mark. And that would be my password because I'm going to finish in 2020. And then of course it wouldn't happen. And then I needed to go and change my password or use a different password. And then I would have Jerry Lee PhD 2022 exclamation point, question mark, or I never used question marks, but I would do that to try to psych myself into believing it, but I didn't really believe it. Here's what I'm not saying. Well, if you say 2022, then it'll be 2022. Deep down, I didn't really believe I was finishing in 2022. And so I do little things like that to try to make myself believe. And so you can say, the penguin can say, I believe I can fly. It's not flying. And it doesn't believe it's flying. It's just saying that. You see, it's as long as you actually believe it will be. So the thing you need to actually work on is believing that you're going to finish, whether it's this year or the year after that, and then getting to work as if you really believe that. So what you shouldn't focus on is how long it's going to take. You don't focus on, well, is it 2 years or is it 6 months or is it 8 months, or you're like the kids in the car saying, are we there yet? Are we there yet? I don't know why I'm not able to say that. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And you're saying that repeatedly. No, we're not there yet. Here's what you need to focus on. Why? Why are you getting the PhD? Are you getting it because your parents wanted you to get it? Are you getting it because it looks good on a resume? You need to figure out what your why is. And this was something that I figured out in the last period of time where I was finishing up the PhD. Why am I really getting this? And one of the things I came to understand is that this credential is something that can set me apart in the job market. But really more importantly is it gives me a credential that many people find valuable, and they're much more willing to listen to some of the ideas and opinions I have that are not even related to mechanical engineering, for instance. I'm writing a book right now, and being able to put those 3 letters behind my name is something that's helpful. And so you need to be specific. Why are you doing this? But not just why, but you need to be specific about who are you doing this for. There's a video I'm going to link to in the description and talk a little bit about in a second about this, where you think about who are you doing this for. And so for me, I thought about my mother and I thought about 2 of my sisters, and that when I finished the PhD, this is how I was going to put myself in a better position to make their lives better. So I got specific, and then you start having an emotion behind it. You start having a real feeling behind it because that feeling is going to tap into it. See, right now, you don't have the right feelings. You don't think you're going to finish, and it makes it harder for you to work. But when I know that I'm working for my mom and I'm working for my sisters, it's a different type of motivation that's behind it. You need to know this: all the effort will be worth it. You're beginning to wonder, was this a mistake? Should I have done this? It's been this many years that I've put in. Is it possible that all of that will go down the drain? Maybe you've taken out some student loans even. It will. It will be worth it having those three letters behind your name. I have people that are older that'll come up to me and just are so enamored by this. And I'm like, well, I'm young enough to be your grandson. Why do you care so much about this degree? And, but it affects people, and it is something that will be useful to you. The other thing I would say is that you want to focus on what you're going to do with it. Like I said, I'm writing a book. I'm working on some other things. I'm working with a robotic startup right now. But what are you going to do with it? And what doors is this PhD going to open? If you will focus your energy and your thoughts and your faith on this is what's going to happen, then what begins to happen is anticipation is generated rather than the anxiety that you're currently working on. So this is a video from Eric Thomas, E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, and it's a video I watched multiple times. I came across it several years into my PhD, but I would watch this periodically because he does a great job, because he is a PhD himself, and he had to think really deeply about how is it that I see these other people graduating before me. I'm the motivation guy. I'm the guy that's trying to get people to meet their goals in personal development. Why haven't I finished my PhD? I have everything but the dissertation and I'm still not done. And so he has this entire video about get it done. And I watched that video, kind of gave me chills the first time because I'm not a huge motivation guy, but he also had practical steps. He talked about finding 3 people that you're going to get this PhD for them and connecting that goal to being able to do this for them and being specific about why you need to do it for them. So like I said, for my 3 were my mother and 2 of my sisters. Your 3 will be different people. Watch this video. I'll link it in the description. It's a really helpful one if you're in the process of finishing up your PhD. So here's how long it'll take. As long as you believe it will. Not how long you say it will, not what you're telling everybody else. I've told people multiple times, people will ask me, well, when are you going to be finished? And I would say, well, I think I can finish later on this year. I think. And you start using this language, I'm going to try. But I really didn't believe I would. And until it came down to it, and basically I had to finish in the final semester of 2023, or I was going to be kicked out of the program. So then that belief was there. I got to get this done, or else I'm not going to finish. So I got it done. So what's going to happen for you? You need to focus on what's going to happen. You're going to finish your thesis and graduate. Go back to this video as many times as you need to. These are the things you need to be saying to yourself, not how many years does it take. I'm going to finish and graduate. Your PhD is going to set you apart in the job market. There are people that say, well, the job market's tough. PhD is going to set you apart. You're going to have people talking to you that weren't talking to you while you were a PhD candidate. You are going to inspire people around you. There are people that I didn't know this was that important to. I had family members that came to my graduation that I didn't know they even kind of knew what was going on with me. And they drove 2 hours to come to my graduation to be there in that moment. I had my aunt, she was crying during my graduation or after my graduation, and I was not expecting this. You are going to inspire people around you when you get this done. You're going to be able to help your family and friends. That was something I've thought a lot about, and I'm looking forward to doing even more of that now that I'm finished. So what are you waiting for? Get to it. Finish your research, write your thesis, defend it, graduate. Get on with your life. Start the next chapter. If you believe you will finish it in the next year, that's what's going to happen. And you will work toward that happening. That's all for today. Until next time, thanks for watching.